Can you gather the troops? Can you get the guys? We're supposed to be playing. It's the most amazing thing. I was listening to Matisyahu today, right? And the way he took reggae music and mixed it with the Jewish, themes. It's just, what a genius he was. I wish I did it first. Let's warm up with the Chadodi, just to play it. Good, yeah.
Need a cushion behind you?
Yeah, actually.
Enjoy.
You let me use your band.
Yeah, I'm into
See my son. You probably didn't know that. I'll show you.
Hi, Naomi.
I'm trying to keep up.
Oh, you know what? I need to take my medicine. It hurt when you sat down next to me.
Yeah. I'm just glad you don't have one right here.
On my bad muscle.
No right on this side. Yeah.
And if I need to, I can use that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Except for that one moment when we do that weird groove thing. I don't know if it's like the.
You'll see. Okay, guys. Let's do the Chadodi.
Okay, the Chadodi.
And somebody play the melody for me.
Yeah, go ahead and start us off.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So good to see everybody tonight. If you can't tell, we're playing reggae music. And if you want to get up and dance, that's all right. Or if you want to snap your fingers, that's okay. Just have a good time, 'cause Shabbat is a good time. Oh, yeah. Da-da-da-dum. 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 So everybody take your sheets, and there's some words inside that help us. It's called Shabbat Shalom. You know the word Shabbat Shalom, but there's this other part in it that you're going to need some help with. That's why we have the words. And so we'll get started. Everybody, Jared, you want to help us out? Come out here and help us. Thank you. Here's your part. 1, 2, 3. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Try it. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Not too hard, is it? Keep trying. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Oh, yes, man. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Oh, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Quiet down. Shabbat Shalom. We are going to hear a rap now from Jared Stein.
Oh, Shabbat Shalom. It's my day to chill. Got my candles, my prayer book, and words to spill. 'Cause my soul's overflowing with love to give to Hashem, who's teaching us how to live. It's not one night, got the day to rest. Be blessed through my chest with a natural quest to reside in a place of total bliss. You know that there's nothing better than this. Oh,
try everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom.
Oh. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat. Keep singing Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat, Shabbat.
Now quietly, here we go.
Say
quietly.
it to your neighbors and when the candles are $1. Oh, oh, oh. From when the candles are lit to $5 and I find myself with family and time to spend, sipping the wine and eating the bread, or going to pray and staying in bed. All you gotta do is feel the light and let yourself be without a fight, just sitting around and being free. That's what Shabbat really means to me. Oh, say it like you mean it. Oh, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Oh, Shabbat, 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 say Shabbat Shalom with the day of rest. Oh, Shabbat,
Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom.
turn to the people around you and say it.
Shabbat, 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 Shalom.
With a smile now. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat.
Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat,
Shalom.
Yeah. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom. It's so nice to welcome you all to our reggae Shabbat. Are you in the spirit for a little reggae? Yaman, there you go. You can say Amen or Yaman all night, whatever you want. I want to thank Jared for getting into the spirit of the reggae with the whole hair thing. That was really nice of you to really get into, feel that sense of, it's very nice. Oh my goodness. By the way, you need to know, every third Shabbat, it's not about a concert, it's not about a show. It's about feeling from your heart that sense of kavanah and oneness with prayer and God and life. So we don't want you to just watch. We don't want you to just listen. We want you to feel and engage and be part of it. So you'll be able to follow along with transliterations and prayer books and supplements. Hans, what are we going to do right now? We're going to do Shalom Aleichem?
We're going to do Shalom Aleichem, man.
So let's do this. Everybody, if you'll rise, put your prayer books down, put all the books down. Don't worry about the words right now. Put your arms around your neighbor, just one arm around either side. All right? If you have two arms around the same person, a little too close. Just one arm. Just one arm. We're going to join together. If you know the words, you'll join along. If not, just sway and you'll feel this welcoming of the Shabbat as we join together. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei
For the blessing of the Shabbat candles, we call forward members of our Bar Mitzvah family, Ellen Ben Basat, Michal Bronstein, Daniela Noah Bronstein. If you'll join us up here, please, we join together in the blessing.
May the brightness of these candles banish all gloom, anxiety, and care from our hearts and from the hearts of our loved ones. May this Shabbat bring us peace and serenity, joy and rest. Keep aglow within us, O God, the spirit of gratitude for your many blessings, so that we may know the sweet taste of contentment and the rich harvest of sharing. Kindle in our home a deeper love for one another, for our people, and for all your children.
Amen.
Lai, 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 lai.
seated. You'll be able to follow now in the,
Yes.
I think the supplemental sheet you have by the rivers of Babylon, number 2.
This is the 137th Psalm. By the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down, and there we wept, for we remembered Zion. By the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down, and there we wept, for we remembered Zion. For the wicked carry us away captivity, requiring from us a song. How can we sing King David's song in a strange land? By the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down, and there we wept, for we remembered Zion. So let the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable in thy sight. Oh, For the wicked carry us away captivity, required from us a song. How can we sing King David's song in a strange land? By the rivers of Babylon, sing with us, where we sat down, and there we wept, for we remembered Zion. So let the words of our mouth and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable in thy sight. Oh,
You'll be able to follow along the Siddur in the prayer book, that red. The red book that you have in front of you. Lechuna Ranana, page 11. I think I was just colorblind for a moment there. Just gone. Page 11, Lechuna Ranana.
This is directly from the Abba Yudaya. How many of you are considering going there this summer for our wonderful trip? It's going to be really neat to visit the Jews of Africa. Lechuna Ranana. Lechuna Ranana, la la naria, litzori shaynu, litzori. Try it. Lechuna Ranana, la la naria, litzori shaynu.
Letzor Yishay Lechu Neranena Ladonai Naria Letzor Yishay Letzor Yishay Nikad Mafana Mitoda Bismirot Narialo Nikad Mafana Mitoda Bismirot Narialo Lechu Neranena Ladonai Naria Letzor Yishay Letzor Yishay Lechu Neranena Ladonai Naria Letzor Yishay Letzor Yishay 40 שנה עקוב בדור ואומר עם טועה לבבהם 40 שנה עקוב בדור ועם טועה לבבהם לכו נרננה לאדוני נריע לצור ישי לצור ישי לכו נרננה לאדוני נריע לצור Litzor Yishaynu Litzor Yishaynu Litzor Yishaynu Yeah. Next we do Or Zarua, which we will find in our prayer books on page 16. Page 16. Ozaru ala tzadik ule Yisrael lev simcha. Ozaru ala tzadik Ule Yisrael lev simcha, simchu tzadikim b'Adonai. Leodu lezecher kodsho. Or zarua la tzadik. Ule Yisrael lev simcha. Or zarua la tzadik. Ule Yisrael lev simcha. B'Adonai, la 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 la. Ve'odu lezecher kodsho, la 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 la. Or zaru el tzadik ule Yisrael lev simcha. Or zaru el tzadik ule Yisrael lev simcha. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, la 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 la. La 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 la. Sown for the righteous and the upright of heart. Light is sown for the righteous and the upright of heart. Simchu tzadikim Adonai, la 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 la. Lehodu lezecher kodsho. Or zaru ala tzadik Ule Yisrael lev simcha. Ozaru ala tzadik, uleYisrael lev simcha. Ozaru ala tzadik, uleYisrael lev simcha.
Yeah. Next, we are doing Lecha Dodi. Very ancient song, never done this way before. I always joke because I say this is not like my father's shul. And then my kids say,
It's exactly like my father's shul. It's exactly the same thing.
Lecha Dodi, we do the first two paragraphs, and then we finish with the last paragraph. We start on page 23. So this is very easy, folks. It's Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nikabala. All right, that's your part. Got it? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is it. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nikabela. Your part. Let's hear it. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nikabela. Keep singing. Lecha Dodi,
Likrat Kala,
Likrat Kala,
Penei Shabbat,
Penei Shabbat,
Nikabela,
Nikabela.
Dodi,
Lecha Dodi,
Likrat Kala,
Likrat Kala,
Penei Shabbat,
Penei Shabbat,
Nikabela,
Shamor v'Sachor v'Diborecha, Yishmiyahu El HaMichad Adonai Echad, Shemo Echad, V'Shem Tiferet v'Litila. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala,
Penei Shabbat,
Penei Shabbat,
Nikabela,
Nikabela.
Dodi,
Lecha Dodi,
Likrat Kala,
Likrat Kala,
Penei Shabbat,
Penei Shabbat,
Nikabela,
Likrat Shabbat, Lechu B'necha, Ki Mekor HaBracha, V'erosh Mikelem Nesucha, Socha Aseh B'machashava Techila. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nikabela. Oh, everyone, please rise and face the door. Invite the Queen of Sabbath coming forth. Shabbat, Shabbat, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat,
Nikabela,
Bo'i v'shalom, Ateret Bala, Kam b'simcha, ובצהולה אמונה עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה
Likrat Kala,
לקראת כלה
Penei Shabbat,
בני שבת
Nikabela,
נקבלה
Lecha Dodi,
לך דודי
Likrat Kala,
לקראת כלה
Penei Shabbat,
בני שבת
Nikabela,
נקבלה לך דודי
Likrat Kala,
לקראת כלה
Penei Shabbat,
בני שבת
Nikabela,
נקבלה
Dodi, Likrat Kala,
Please stay standing.
Penei Shabbat,
We are about to do the call to prayer. One, two, three, four. La Adonai Hamivor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Adonai Hamivorach Le'olam Va'ed Today La 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 la
Page 39A, you'll see there on the left-hand side in the English, there's this blessing which frames the sense of nature and our appreciation of its acknowledgement that we are one with the nature, especially when we can feel its presence. So let's read this blessing together in English, this prayer together with me, please. Baruch atah Adonai, our God, sovereign of time and space, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from light, who makes day pass into night, who distinguishes day from night. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Living and ever-present God, may your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch atah Adonai, who brings each evening dusk. We continue, page 40, Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot.
You know the words, join along.
U'mishpatim otanu lemadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu B'shochveinu u'bekumeinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Yihei chayenu v'orech yameinu v'hem neged yomam v'layla. Try it. La גאוותך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני.
Page 41, our Bar Mitzvah Gilad is going to lead us in the Shema. I invite you to close your eyes in these first 6 words. Feel that oneness with the universe, with yourself, with God, as we pray these words together.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם ושבתך וביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשובתך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Page 42, we continue silently, Hebrew or English on the page.
למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Page 44, we continue with Mi Chamocha. You'll find it in your additional supplements as well.
To sing these songs of freedom, they're all I ever had. Redemption song. Oh, malechutcha, ra'uvan Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom that all I ever had? Redemption song, redemption song, redemption songs.
In your Kol Shabbat, you'll find on the inside prayer on the bottom there in the middle, Refa'enu. It's a moment we take to offer prayers for healing and strength. So whether this is for you, for a family member or a friend, I know there's somebody that you know who needs prayers. Whether there's a physical ailment, whether you're praying for our Chazan and his back, in addition to epidurals, that we should be able to have healing hands. You think about people, I'm thinking of a couple of people. I'm thinking of Nick Rosenthal, a beloved member of the congregation who's in need of healing prayers, and people like Jerry and Mike is out there, and Kathy, and so many people who need our prayers. Whether it's physical, whether it's emotional, whether it's an addiction, I believe that our prayers have power. We want you to feel that power, and through your prayer, we're going to read together the English there, and then we'll trail off. You'll have a moment just to bring to mind whether it's you or somebody that you know, and send them these prayers, and then we'll continue with this prayer song composed by our own Chazan. Let's read together in the English, please. Heal us, O Lord, and we shall be healed. Help us and save us, for you are our glory. Grant perfect healing for all our afflictions. May it be your will, Lord our God, God of our ancestors, to send perfect healing of body and soul to, at this time, your private prayers. page 45. Pray for God's protection of that Sukkah of peace, Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu Lechayim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu Lechayim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu Lechayim Ushmor Tzeitzenu Uvoenu L'chaim u'shalom ve'ata v'Adonai Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu Lechayim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu Lechayim Ufros aleinu Sukkah shalom Ufros aleinu Sukkah shalom. Just you guys, everyone. Nu l'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu V'hamidenu Malkeinu l'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu Leshalom Malkeinu.
Thank you, Hazan Stein. Good evening. I need to stand up a little higher. I know we tried to get this low enough. Good evening again. Welcome. I'm honored tonight to introduce our scholar in residence, Rabbi Naomi Levy. She's the author of the national bestseller called To Begin Again, as well as Talking to God and Hope Will Find You. She also has a new book called Einstein and the Rabbi. Rabbi Levy is the founder and leader of Neshuva, a groundbreaking Jewish spiritual outreach movement based in Los Angeles. She was also named one of the top 50 rabbis in America by Newsweek and has appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show, The Today Show, and on NPR. She was in the first class of women to enter the Jewish Theological Seminary's Rabbinical School, and the first woman in her movement to lead a congregation on the West Coast. Please join me in welcoming Rabbi Naomi Levy.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Let me just raise this a little bit. I'm wearing high heels. I'm really short, but I'm wearing heels. What a joy to have the Stein family here. I usually get the boys, I don't get the papa, so this is cool. The papa. And what an honor to be able to be in the shul of Rabbi Vogel. We've been friends since we were in rabbinical school, so that's a few years ago. And I've been here before, and you welcomed me so warmly in the past, and it's just really a joy to be here, and to be here with all of you this Shabbat. And Rabbi Vogel asked me to share with you some of the teachings from the new book that's just come out, my new book called Einstein and the Rabbi. And the piece that I'm going to share with you tonight is, well, it's very connected to the spirit of Shabbat because, you know, the rabbis understood, they believed, when they talked about things like Shabbat HaMalkah, like we just sang the Chadodi and we faced this way, they weren't just talking about it sort of like la-di-da, like that's a nice idea. They actually believed that Shabbat wasn't just a day, but that Shabbat was a presence, a spiritual presence, not like metaphorically speaking, not figuratively speaking. They, the mystics, would go out into the field to welcome Shabbat because they believed that Shabbat was alive, that Shabbat was something that would descend upon us. They believed in the Neshama Yetera, like in an extra soul that would actually enter us on Shabbat. They believed that the soul itself wasn't just an idea, but that it was an actual presence within us. So this Shabbat, because it's Friday night, because we've just welcomed, can you feel her? The bride that we just welcomed into the sanctuary, can you feel her a little bit? A tiny bit? Because we just welcomed her, she's here somewhere. And the Torah portion that we have this Shabbat is all about blessings. It's about welcoming blessings. And again, blessings to the rabbis weren't just words. Blessings were something crucial, critical to live by, to die by, or in Jacob's case, to steal. They were real, and you needed it and you wanted it. And I think we all want blessings, yes? So I'm going to share with you a little bit about my blessings, okay? Say okay. I grew up in a home that was filled with food, like a good Jewish home, and love and laughter, and lots of music and stories, always stories. I was the youngest of 4 kids, and we were really part of a whole tribe in Brooklyn, with my mother's brothers, Uncle Nat's family, living on top of us when I was growing up, and my mother's other brother's family, Uncle Ruby's family, living next door to us when I was growing up. And my grandparents lived above them. So we were all these families all living within 2 houses, and nobody ever knocked on any doors, nobody ever rang the bell, and nobody ever needed a key. Everybody was always just barging into everybody else's home. My parents were soulmates. They were constantly singing in harmony, walking hand in hand. But as I grew up, one by one, my older siblings moved out and went off to college. And pretty soon it was just me, my mom, and my dad. It was quieter, but it was beautiful. One day, life was beautiful. And then one night, my parents were walking down the street in Brooklyn, and a robber approached them at gunpoint and robbed them, and he shot my father. And my father was murdered. And now, overnight, it was just me and my mom. And as you can imagine, the two of us became unnaturally close, ridiculously close, the way two broken hearts have to figure it all out together. When I was in high school, I tried so hard never to cry. I didn't want to add to my mom's sorrow. Instead, I threw myself into my studies, and I was such a studious kid, such a nerd. I'd always work myself into a tizzy before an exam, and then I'd turn to my mom on the day of my test, and I'd say, "Mom, bless me before the test, and bless my pen, too." And she'd say to me, "No, Mila, don't you know I'm a good witch? I know how it is, and I know how it will be." And I would take my blessed pen and scurry off to school. And then it came time for me to go to college. Honestly, I don't know how she found the strength to let me go off to college. How do you send your fourth child off when you've got nothing at home but memories of a life that once was? I don't know how I left, but I did. And I hated it. It was a culture shock to go from an Orthodox yeshiva high school to Cornell University. It was so Gentile, so preppy. I'd never seen so many headbands and topsiders in my life. They kept saying that the ideal Cornelian was a scholar and an athlete, some Greek ideal. Well, I was no athlete, and I didn't see myself as a scholar. So I started to call my mom every single night, crying hysterically. "I want to go home. I don't like it here." And she was so strong. She'd say to me, "I want you to stay. Trust me. I'm a good witch." And then she'd bless me for my upcoming test. And you know what? She was right. After 6 months and 15 pounds, I did learn how to love college, and I made new friends, and I loved the learning, though I never did get into athletics. My mom was right about so many things. She knew that my husband, Rob, was the right man for me even before I knew it. "Trust me," she said. "I'm a good witch. He's a keeper." And she walked me down the aisle at our wedding, just the two of us, me and my mom, hand in hand. And she had to give me away again. It was hard for her to let go and know that I was going to live so far away from her. But then the widow with the broken heart became a bubby with a full heart and a full schedule of friends and grandchildren and volunteering and studies, and her bat mitzvah at the age of 80. At her 70th birthday, just when we thought we were having a big celebration for her, and just when we thought she was going to make a speech, she turned around to me and she said, "No, Mala, I want you to bless me." All those years as a rabbi, I'd spent blessing other people. All those years, she'd been blessing me, and I'd never blessed her. How can I describe what passed between us? From that day on, it became our ritual. She'd call me every single night and ask me for her blessing. She had trouble sleeping, so I'd bless her. I'd say, "Mom, I bless you with peace. I bless you with sleep through the night. sweet dreams. She had various ailments, her eyes, her legs, her feet, her asthma, her stomach. I'd call her, I'd say, Mom, how are your giblets doing? She'd laugh, we'd talk, and then she'd say, I need my blessing. And I would bless her. I bless you with peace. I bless you with sleep through the night. Sweet dreams. I found myself saving her voicemails. People were constantly complaining that my mailbox was full, but I just couldn't erase, Rabbi Vogel, but I just couldn't erase my mother's sweet messages. Good Shabbos, happy birthday, happy Mother's Day, good Yantif. I'd say that we spoke on the phone around 6 times a day. She wanted to know the details. If it was the Friday of an Ashuva service, she'd call first to bless me and wish me good luck, and then she'd ask me, so, what are you going to talk about? And then there were the wrap-up calls. So new, how was Neshuva? How did it go? How was your sermon? Was it well received? How many people came? If I was traveling to speak out of town, I'd get a call in the taxi on the way to the airport. We'd talk, and I'd say, I've got to go, Mom. I'm going through security. And she'd say, okay, call me on the other side. I'd call, we'd chat, I'd board the plane. I'd say, Mom, I gotta go. They've closed the cabin doors. She'd say, okay, call me when you land. We'd talk in the taxi on the way to my hotel. Tell me about your hotel room. Is it nice? What are you gonna talk about tonight? And then always the wrap-up calls. So new, how did it go? What did you talk about? Was it well received? How was the crowd? She enjoyed these wrap-up calls so much that I found myself telling little white lies. How was the crowd? Packed. She'd say, standing room only? I'd say, yes, Mom, standing room only. Were you a hit? Yes, Mom, a big hit. Was it a wow? Yes, a definite wow. I was invited to teach a session on prayer at a retreat for my own colleagues, for rabbis. At the end of my lecture, I said, you know what? Rabbi Vogel was there at one that I recently did. I want to teach you how to bless each other. We rabbis spend our lives blessing other people. Who blesses us? My colleague said, what are you talking about? How do we bless each other? I said, me and my mom do it every night. You can do this. And you should have seen how these grown men and women put their hands on each other's heads and melted into puddles of tears. Afterwards, you know what happened. My mom called for the reviews. So new, how did it go with the rabbis? Were you well received? Was it a wow? Standing room only? And then she was dying. The truth is, for a woman who was so intimately involved in the details of her children's lives, her grandchildren's lives, her friends' lives, I don't know how she found the courage to let us go. I said to her, Mom, bless me. And she said to me, no, Maleh, you've already been given the formula. All you have to do is live it. And then I blessed her. I said, Mom, everything you needed to give, you've already given. You can go now. I stroked her hair, and I said, I bless you with peace. I bless you with sleep. And I sang her a lullaby. After she slipped into unconsciousness, I whispered to myself, call me when you get through security. When somebody you love dies, there are so many reflexes to retrain. You set the table for 3, and then you remember, there were only 2 settings now. For me, it was training myself to stop reaching for the phone. Honestly, 10 times a day, I'd reach out to call my mom, and then I'd have to remind myself, I can't call. I'd think of something that I needed to tell her, and then I'd literally have to sit on my hands. I'd have a Nashuva service, and I'd find myself asking her questions to myself. So new? How did it go? Was it a wow? Standing room only? With time, you stop reaching. When my mother died, a rabbinic mentor of mine said to me, he said, Naomi, the Kaddish you say in April, it isn't the same Kaddish that you say in November. A friend of mine overheard him saying this, and she asked me, are there really 2 different Kaddishes for different months? I said, no, it's the same Kaddish, but you're in a different place. At first, it's a Kaddish of anguish, of an open wound and an empty ache. But with each passing month, it takes on a different tone and a different color. Some days, I said Kaddish like a robot. Some days, I felt a tug. Some days, I felt such a sweet feeling sitting in the morning prayer service at Minyan, wrapped in my mother's talis, the one she wore at her bat mitzvah, saying Kaddish for her. When somebody dies who is close to you, the world says, get back to normal. But we all know better. You're not normal. Your soul knows that you need to take time to heal. Take it. And time does heal. And somehow you learn to stop relying on those you lost for wisdom and comfort. You learn to stand on your own 2 feet. We learn to take care of ourselves. We learn to channel them. What would he have said? What would she have told me? But holidays come, or Shabbos comes, and old wounds reopen because we miss someone who should be with us, who should be sharing with us and sitting with us at our table. The world may expect us to be strong, but we don't have to be strong all the time. You don't always have to stand on your own 2 feet. Your soul is here to give you permission to reach out and to feel the tug and to remember sweet memories and to know that you are blessed. Blessings in this world, blessings beyond this world, blessings that live on and on and on and on. I'm going to ask you to do something right now. Are you ready to try? I want you to turn to the person next to you. Look at them. And tell them what you need a blessing for. And ask them to bless you. And if there's a threesome, join the threesome. If there's an odd number, join. Get a blessing, give a blessing. You understand? Ask for a blessing, give a blessing, ask for a blessing, give a blessing. Are you guys chatting or are you actually giving blessings right now? I don't know, I can't tell. Raise your hand if you're still giving a blessing. Okay, I'll give you 1 more minute. Say the blessings. Okay, everybody look up. And now I get to bless all of you. So take a moment, sit up straight. Sit up straight. I want you to put your hands open to really be able to receive, and close your eyes. May God be with you. May health and strength sustain you. May kindness and wisdom enrich you. May nothing harm you. May you be a blessing to this world, and may blessings surround you now and always. Hashem imachem. God be with you. Amen.
Are you in a wow moment? You know, it's so interesting. Sometimes when you speak, Rabbi, I imagine sometimes you go to synagogues and the rabbi will introduce you as, say, my friend, Rabbi Naomi Levy, right? And then like you'll have just met them right before services. Right? You just introduce, they go, my friend, but to know that the depths of our friendship, I mean, Rhodey and I were at her wedding. We were in rabbinical school together. When she says that I call and her phone is full, she is not lying. I then have to text her and say, by the way, empty it out, it's time. So the great thing about being really dear best friends is you can share things that, not everything, but just things that you won't hear anywhere else. So Rabbi Levy, you heard a little bit about her community in Brooklyn growing up, pretty Orthodox community. In her 8th grade book, her yearbook, when they asked, what you want to be, long before a woman had ever been thought to be ordained, she wrote, going to be a rabbi. And the idea that she could do that is heretical in your community to even think about it. But that's the kind of person that she was. She had this vision and dream, and to be able to share that growth and love and blessing throughout these years, for me, has been a blessing. We're going to continue back in our Siddur in the prayer book, page 46. Gilad, you're going to come back up here because you're going to share Vishamru with us. He wants you to join along. You right, Gilad? You want them to join along? Come on over here. Join with him, please. Page 46 as we get our band, we get our musicians back together. This blessing of Brit, of covenant and Shabbat. As Rabbi Levi said, Shabbat is not just an idea, it is an experience, it is a reality of sharing. Let's join together Vishamru.
Pa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha berichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran ve'alma
Prepare for the Amidah now, page 47. I want you to rise, please. There's a silent prayer in which we again enter into oneness with God, but we have to open our hearts because our hearts need to be open. They're not so easy to do that. And we have these words, Adonai. Repeat after me, Adonai, Sfatai, Tiftach, Ufi, Yagid, Tilatecha. God, open my lips and my mouth may proclaim your praise. How often have you really wanted to say something so important, so much out from your heart, you just couldn't find the words? That's what we want. We want to be able to find those words and oneness of life and God and the universe. So we're going to pray together these words, this Kavanah meditation, and then we're going to go silently into the Amidah. Whether you do the Hebrew or the English or you find your own prayers of your heart, this is your moment as we begin together.
Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Sfatai Tiftach. Na 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 Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatem.
That's it. Come on from your hearts. Here we go.
Na 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 Adonai. Adonai. Adonai, so tight in top, Ufi Yagi
When you're finished with your prayers, you may be seated.
Drummond. Let's have a hand for Drummond. Yes. Oh, say shalom, shalom, Drummond. Booyah, say shalom. Shalom, say shalom. Oh, say shalom, shalom, Drummond. Booyah, say shalom. Say shalom.
Kiddush is the sanctification of Shabbat over wine. Gilad, you're going to come over and come up here. We're going to rise together, please, page 55. We're going to join together along with Gilad over for the Kiddush, page 55.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu בשבת קודשו באהבה ורצון יחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקרה קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי באנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה ורצון הלכתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Grape juice? There you go. We remain standing, please. Aleinu, you'll find page 50, page 56.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת מילה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצון, ולא שמענו כמשפחות הדמם, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, ויקרוב עלינו ככל המונה. משתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי העולמים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נותן שמיים ויוסד הארץ וכבודי בקרוב ומים ושכינתו זו וגם הם רוחים הוא אלוהינו אמת מלכנו אפס תולדות ככתוב בתורתו ויד היום והשפותם אל אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ויאמר
time of memorial, we call in reverence the yortzites of those who have been gathered unto their people. On this Shabbat, remember the yortzites of Sonia Baker, Audrey Berman, Alan Bornstein, Seal Edelson, Tova Fructel, Florence Gilman, Harry Nitkin, Sally Resnick, Sid Winter, Gerald Adler, Sydney Albert, Cyrus Bakhtari, Sheila Berkman, Morris Blank, Bonnie Fine, Joanne Gumbert, Lena Hagen, Howard Hurwitz, Helen Kaftel, Brianne Lubenecker, Bob Ross, Naomi Ziskraut, Marjorie Bilkis, Sylvia Kalig, Ronald Cohen, Annette Gold, Jack Herskovitz, Anita Nan Shepard, Muriel Solomon, Violet Agassi, Jerry Bobro, Jane Brooks, Sarah Chinsky, Beverly Ann Kaplan, Frida Bloom Levy, Florence Ross, Sam Ross, Shia, Sam Sadis, Abraham Goldberg, Max Grossberg, Doris Katz, Elise Michaels, Mitchell Moss, Martin Joseph Price, Phyllis Valadez, Esther Asher, Rita Copeland, Alan Goldshine, Dorothy Kuhner, Helena Talmore, Sheila Ventura Cohen, Martin Baskin August, Rebecca Myers. We're mindful also of recent bereavements in our community. We mourn the passing of Lois Joyce Schneiderman, mother of Lynn Geminder. We mourn as well the passing of Kevin Sullivan, the father of Alana Silvitsalovsky. At this time, I invite those who have need or desire to recite the words of the Kaddish to rise, page 58. And whether you're here in our community or you're at home on live streaming, and this is your community to recite the sacred words of love and reverence and life. Those of you reciting the words together, join at this time. Yit Gadal, v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah. Amen. Yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Bagalau v'zman kariv meru. Amen. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach lam u'me'omayah. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal. Shmei dekudesha brichu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata d'amiran v'alma d'meru. Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, Chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Meru. Amen. Oseh Shalom V'Imromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Meru. Amen. May God who establishes peace in the heavens grant peace and harmony for us, for all of Israel and all of humanity. We say, Amen. You may be seated. I have to tell you, as I look around at people saying Kaddish, I see such a sanctity of relationships of love and life. The Brooks family over there and all reciting Kaddish, and Jill back there in the back, your family together, that when you come together and we see you, there's a sense of this love and continuity, and that's what this is about, a sense of remembering in the context of community and peoplehood, and that their lives mean something. So for me, always a sacred moment. Julie Devine, our president, you want to come and share a couple words? Please, give us some announcements, will you?
I have some announcements.
Good.
Yes. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I hope you enjoyed Temple Aliyah's every third Shabbat service reggae version tonight. Did you enjoy?
This is the right answer.
Yeah. We are honored to have our guest and scholar in residence this weekend, of course, Rabbi Naomi Levy. Thank you for joining us this evening. Tomorrow, our Shabbat morning service begins at 9:15 a.m. with the bar mitzvah of Gilad Bronstein. Yay. Rabbi Levy will also be joining our clergy in leading services, as well as the Rebbe's Tish. Sunday, she will be back again for a book signing of her new book, Einstein and the Rabbi, from noon until 12:30. And while you're here for that, we hope that you'll stop by the Women of Aliyah Outdoor Handmade for Hanukkah Boutique. The boutique will open at noon and will go on outside until 4 p.m. And both things are open to the public. Next Friday, November 24th, is Shabbat Live at 7 p.m. Next Saturday, November 25th, our Shabbat morning service will begin at 9:15 a.m. with the bar mitzvah of Brandon Gerson. Information on all Temple Aliyah events can be found in the blue and gold Kol Shabbat that was handed out to you this evening, and also, of course, on our website at templealiyah.org. Thank you to our ushers and graders tonight for welcoming our congregation and our guests this evening. Thank you again to Rabbi Levy for joining us tonight, and we look forward to seeing you, of course, the rest of the weekend. Thank you to the Bronstein and Ben Bassat family for sponsoring tonight's Oneg Shabbat in honor of Gilad's bar mitzvah and for contributing to the Oneg. We also thank the Silverman family in loving memory of Martin, August, and Eric, Adina, Jake, Haley, and Ethan Brooks in memory of Jane Brooks. Lastly, I'd like to remind our congregation and our visitors to refrain from using any electronic devices such as cameras, cell phones, or video games while at the synagogue during Shabbat. We very much appreciate your thoughtfulness as we maintain the sanctity of our Shabbat observance. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Yes, I'd like to acknowledge our musicians. Draman Cohn on the world-renowned player. We're so lucky to have him. Steve Harvey on the drums. Justin Stein on the bass. Jared Stein on the fiddle. Troy Dexter on the guitar. ZZ David Cohen on the piano. Amanda Pipolo singing. Beautiful lead vocals. And Fumani on the tambourine. Thank you. And Kelly Stein on the vocals. That's about it. Lots of Steins.
Yeah, a lot of Steins in there. All right, so let's stand together because we're going to finish up strong with Adon Olam, page 211. Let's feel it, your last chance to feel that Shabbos feeling.
All right.
Let's join together.
Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Ira Le'ed Nasa V'chepso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Ravi Acharei Livot HaKol Levado Yimlo Nora Behu Haya Behu Hove Behu Yeh B'tzima Behu Echad Ve'en Sheni Lehamshir Lo Lehakira Beli Veshi Beli Tachli Velo Ha'oz Ve'ha'Yisra Ve'hu Eli Ve'chai Goali Ve'zur Chevli Ve'et Zahara Ve'hu Nisi U'manosli Menakosi Ve'yom Metrabi Adon Achim Ve'ekishan Ve'a'ira Ve'imruchi Geviyati Adonai li Ve'lo ira. Shabbat, Shabbat. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Come on. Shalom. Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Yeah, so the wonder of creation, sensation of elation, you can feel it in the ground, in the air, all around. It resounds the feeling of majesty. Look around, God created everything you see on the earth, the sea, the air, the trees, the man and woman, the birds and the bees of Chicago. Remember the day and God bless the Shabbat, the day of holy prayer and rest. Shabbat, 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 Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shalom, Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom.
Chazan Mike Stein. Woo!
Chazan Mimi Hasselkorn.